In this lecture, we're going to take a look at a couple of basic things you can do as part of your initial setup to optimize your site for search engines. First and foremost, you need to make sure you're allowing search engines to crawl and index your site. Before a web crawler visits your site, it looks for a file on your server called robots.txt. This file dictates whether the crawler is allowed to visit your site at all, and whether you'd like any areas of your site excluded from the search results. This is a really powerful file, and it can be helpful if you want to customize which parts of your site get indexed and which parts don't, which bots are allowed to visit your site and which aren't, and so on and so forth. But being that it is so powerful, you need to be careful and make sure you know what you're doing if you decide to edit it. The last thing you want to do is start blocking all bots from visiting your site and suddenly disappear from the search results. WordPress manages your robots.txt file dynamically, and it makes it very easy to toggle the global setting for that file right from your reading settings page. There's a checkbox at the bottom that says, "Discourage search engines from indexing this site." If you want your site to appear in search engines, make sure that box is not checked. It's off by default, but since it is just a checkbox, it'd be pretty easy to enable it by accident, so be careful with that. The next thing to consider is the permalink structure for your content. This determines what your post URLs look like. This is important because search engines use the content of your URLs as one of many ranking signals that determine whether your page is relevant. If your URL contains the keyword you're trying to rank for, that will give you a slight advantage. So to customize your permalinks in WordPress, click Permalinks under the Settings menu in your dashboard. The default structure looks like this. It's pretty ugly, just a cryptic post ID number, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to people or to search engines. When you change your link structure to something containing the name of your post, you have the opportunity to include keywords in your URLs. I prefer to keep things simple and use the post name structure, but if for whatever reason you'd prefer to have dates in your links, you can do that as well. As long as the post name is in there, you're good. Now, a word of warning, if you've already got an established site up and running, be careful not to do anything that would break your existing links. You don't want to lose the search cred you've already worked hard to attain. Finally, the age-old question, to www or not to www. Most web servers are set up so you can access a site with or without the www prefix. This can sometimes present a problem with search engines because in their eyes, the www version of your site is actually a separate website from your top-level domain. So they see two websites with the exact same content, and you end up competing with yourself. Now, search engines have gotten a lot smarter in the way they handle this, but I say better safe than sorry. Choose the version you like better, make sure the other version redirects to your preferred version, and specify your preference on the general settings page in WordPress. There's no SEO benefit to choosing one or the other. It's really just a matter of personal preference.